What is your connection with that woman? Morgan asked. We're co-workers, nothing much. Archer shrugged at his master. Simply put, the both of us work for the world. The world? Huh? Avalon did tell her vaguely about Archer being tied down to this contract with the world. You never explained to me what exactly you mean by working for the world. I didn't. I was sure you asked me once, Archer asked innocently. You always avoided the subject, she said with a deadpan stare. As if you've been hiding a secret. She frowned. Her servant closed her eyes. I don't want you to lie no more. I wish for you to be honest with me, she told him. I've been honest with you, so you should with me. I suppose you have been quite honest with me. Archer sighed. I guess I'll start being honest with you as well. He but nodded at her. What is it that you mean by the world? She first asked. As in the spirit of the world. I work for what is called the counterforce. It's an agency in a way. The counterforce is made up of Gaia and Alea. I work for Alea, which is the collective unconsciousness of mankind. It strives to keep mankind alive and eliminate any threats that threaten humanity's future. Gaia, meanwhile, is the planet's will to survive, wishing to protect all things in nature on Earth. Animals, nature, and both forces oppose each other. Gaia hates humanity for their recklessness and actions that cause threats to the environment, even trying to eradicate humanity with things like using phantasmal spirits and so forth. Morgan processed all the information as Archer spoke to her firmly yet quickly. Then she thought back to it. So basically, from my understanding, Gaia hates humans and tries to kill them for they harm the environment, Morgan asked, using her hands to move one side to show Gaia's side. Archer nodded. And meanwhile, Alea, mankind's unconsciousness, wishes to protect mankind, and so exterminates any threats that threaten humanity's extinction. Morgan moved her arms to the opposite side to show Alea's side. Yep, her servant confirmed. Huh? That was easy to understand. She found herself amused. When you said that you weren't a hero, is it because you found yourself killing many? Morgan whispered at the man. Tell me, Shuro, how many have you killed? Exterminated? You said that you did us as a janitor? How many? She was but concerned for her servant's mental health. Grabbing his face with her hand softly, she stared at him. His face was quite smooth. I lost count of how many people I killed, he replied honestly. Innocent people, horrible people. Anything that I was ordered to do, I killed, he replied with a shrug. Not bothered for his fate is sealed. And why haven't you fought back? Because, Master, U.S. counter-guardians, those who made contracts, pacts with the world, have no free will of our own. We are forced to do the bidding that's told to us. Counter-guardians. We're entrusted to stop anything that threatens the world. That's our duty. We kill, exterminate, and so forth. Humans or not, most of the extermination is because we're called the cries of the people. We take care of the mistakes that humans themselves made. So that's what you meant by having no legend of your own. You have no legend at all, because you made a contract. Correct. Though I am a heroic spirit, I didn't become one like all the others. Meijin-san herself isn't a proper one as well. She's a counter-guardian like me that reached the throne regardless. Morgan blinked. 2 counter-guardians? Well then, that's something. How long? How long have you been stuck to that contract? Long enough. A contract that I vowed to become a guardian. In exchange for the power, of course, isn't free. There's always a price. That price was sacrificing my afterlife. After I died, I would become a counter-guardian. The contract doesn't expire. There's no end to it. The world is the cause of all your suffering? Huh? Morgan asked, a bit infuriated. No, she will not sugarcoat it. A lot. Yes, I would say so. I mean, imagine wanting to save people, and you're allowed to save more after you die, and you do, just not the way you anticipated it. You save people, but you're forced to kill many people. Talk about irony, ha! Archer chuckled bitterly. Morgan closed her eyes, calming herself. She is a god. She is the demon lord, despite that she would never want her enemies to suffer a life of eternal suffering. Her servant is hers. Will admit she has grown fond of him, and given the root of all his misery is the blasted world itself. Talk about irony. An idea popped into her head. If the contract is what made Archer become a guardian in the first place, then perhaps She can destroy it, world or not. She'll fight against it. She's omnipotent after all. Quiet, Avalon! Morgan, as she heard Avalon snicker at her, saying, and I quote, "Yet you can't change his soul? Did Scabbard, manifest yourself if you can. Fight her like a real woman. Wait, does Avalon even have a gender? Whatever. It's a stupid Scabbard that you can't scratch. Quite a villain, Morgan sighed. Despite that, she may not be all omnipotent. But regardless, there has not been a single being that can defeat either her or Artoria. The two of them are equals, as much as it pains her to say. They're the strongest, besides the blasted gods, of course. If her and Artoria are gods, then the gods are super gods. Even so, Morgan began to think of what to do. She has the soul of his. She cannot overwrite it, sadly. But maybe she can break a contract. She smirked. Time to try and pull what her daughter calls a bullshit move. Then again, her daughter always did say her powers are bullshit. She disapproves of such foul language. As the generations change, the children become smarter with their insults, she'll admit. They grow up so fast. Hey, are you crying, master? These are but tears of joy, Archer. A mother is but proud at her children for growing up, but disappointed at their foul mouths. She wept. Boucher twitched his eye at the scenery. What the hell is going on? The first battle of the day. The battle shall shortly, as we have to introduce both sides that are participating like always. On the right side, we have Morgan Lefay, the Demon Lord, oldest daughter of Uther Pendragon. Her beauty causes many to bow down to her, offering their lives on the battlefield for her glory. A witch in disguise who uses any means to get what she wants, the announcer yelled throughout the Colosseum. Cheering from the fairy knights roared out, and many that were not. The civilians roared in excitement at the battle that will occur. Morgan sat proudly on her chair. Yes, praise her, accept her, worship her, give all mortal possession to her. Obey her.